gaming playthrough, platinum trophy walkthrough of Divinity Original Sin 2. This is Raz. I'm your host for today. And as you recall from last time, we're had just left the tutorial area, and now we're in the hull of the ship. And we have our by pushing right trigger, you can get this screen. So we have our journal, which tells us our quests. This is Losi's personal quest. And then these are the ones that everybody gets, which we're starting on right now. Troubled Waters and Hot Under the Collar. Here's the chronicles as we go left to right across the top within our journal, telling us what's going on. You can pause and read these at your convenience. Nothing archived yet. These are the last dialogues we had. There's the combat logs. And then if you need any to go through any of the tutorials again, it's all the way to the right. So we'll take a quick look around, see if there's anything we can use within this room. So if we hold down the X button, we get the active search screen to come up with all the stuff we can look at.
Empty.
So Trawler Skull is worth something to us. We'll grab that. Small tome as well. We'll take a look at the bottle rack and see if there's anything in there. There is an empty potion bottle which we can use, so we will take that. Grotesque jars we don't need for anything. Laboratory stuff we don't really need. Medical cabinet we'll check on. What do you know? We have a couple things: empty potion bottle and a handkerchief. We'll take all that. The roll books we will look at. Nothing there. Roll books, but it's empty. Candle holder, candles, skull with a candle. So we'll close this and we'll take a look a little farther around. We'll go over to this section. Same thing, X. Stuff we've already looked at, like this bottle rack, it'll say it's empty already. Cooking pot, we want to grab that. Mortar and pestle, definitely want that. Grab another bucket, they're worth money. We'll look at this bottle rack we haven't yet. And we have 3 empty potion bottles, so we're getting a good start to that. A bunch of laboratory stuff, lid, pot still. Let's move over here a little farther and check this area. Let's take a look in the box. So it's saying we have too much to carry, so let's go into the inventory and look at all the stuff we have here. This box we don't need, so we'll drop that. See, that was the heavy thing. That was about 50 pounds worth of stuff, so that was a mistake to pick that one up. So let's go over to this corner, see if there's anything over close to this edge.
Empty.
Medical cabinet's empty. Gold cup, definitely worth taking. That's going to be worth something. Assortment of books. Sheets of paper. Those we can use later in crafting. Jug we'll pick up. So now we've pretty much searched this whole room for everything we might need. We'll take a look in this barrel. There's a recipe. So let's pick that up. Let's go into our inventory. And go to our True Brew Fahrenheit. And we will read this. And it tells us about a plant well. Now we learned how to make a minor constitution potion, so that should be helpful for us. Okay, so let's start
yes.
our walk, we will talk to Magistars C1.
The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get used to its leash.
Oh, nice. Now we're being rated as a dog. So before we continue here, one of the things we can do to help improve our start, especially since we're playing on Tactician mode, is to get as much inventory as possible. And one way to do that is to trade with all the Magistars here on this level of the ship. Because what is going to happen is later on we're going to be able to recover everything we traded to them. They're all going to get killed, except for Magister C1. She's going to be injured. And we can take all our stuff back. So we need to try and take advantage of anything we think we might need. So there's a herring, there's a shell. Those either have... Here, we'll show the detail. So we can cook a shell, but is really helpful to us. So you can see what a crab's claw will do for us. With their funny pun there, in a pinch, crab's claw. This curious little relic can serve as a rudimentary tweezers or be enchanted to channel the beneficence of the crab matriarch, your choice.
No marks, no indications. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and he's the chap in charge of the logs.
Okay, so now we need to find this Magister Williams.
Find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters.
So, these are the things we can respond to. We can talk about the Magister that's dead below if we want to. We can ask her why we're collared. We can use our Jester background, our Mystic background, or we can just leave.
Don't you dare! If you violate the virtue of my carpet, I'll do a good thing worse and put a collar around your neck.
Index fingers pressed to her lips, she pauses a moment to give you a scrutinizing gander.
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous with that sedative. Oh, well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. In the meantime, all you need to know is that we're en route to Fort Joy. A new life awaits, and if you're a particularly good girl, perhaps a cure as well. An end to Source. For good.
So that was helpful. We learned something, that we were sedated, and we're on our way to Fort Joy. So we will ask her about the collar.
Peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those source spells of yours? See what happens.
So we have two ways to go. Either we can not do it, or we can try. This is, you can see response specifically to Losa. So let's just go ahead and try and see what happens.
Inside you, boiling, bursting, then breaking, only to fade back into your soul like rain into the earth.
And we find out that we cannot use our source.
Concentration on your face. All will, but no result. There you have it. See? The collar's function. It neuters you of sorts. Makes you unable to cast Source. For your own peace of mind, of course. Yours and the whole world's.
So rather than starting trouble now, we're not going to mention that there's a dead Magister below. We'll just take our leave at this point. Now we had a couple of journal entries. You can see the plus sign here, new journal entries, and for crafting down here. So first we'll stop at the journal. And you can see the comments here. And then we can go to Troubled Waters as well. This one was new. And we're the first entry at the top there, register with Magister William. We were told to register with him, so that's what we will do. And we'll look at a quick look at the crafting since that popped up for us. And you can see here's the new potion we can make, which is a Constitution potion. The items in red are what we need that we don't have. So we have a bunch of empty potion bottles, we just don't have the root that we need. Same with the minor intelligence potion, that's not a surprise at all. And we're not going to have the ability to make anything at this point at all anyways. So you can see that herring will help us make a rain scroll if we need to, that she has. And before we go out of here, we will then also do a big search again. It's in red, and you'll notice the choices at the bottom. The X is now steal. We're not going to steal any books, especially with the Magister standing right there. So, nothing to find.
You've been collared and you've been told why. There really is no need for you to linger.
Let's trade, and this time what we'll do is we'll go to barter, and you can see how it works here. So we want to see what she has. She has a herring that we know we can use. We'll put that over there. And on this side, we just need something to offset it. So for right now, let's try putting a deck of cards. Looks like we'll need the second deck of cards. And we'll make the trade. And we will take our leave. So out we go through the door. Before we talk to these two guys,
there's been a murder here.
We'll take a look over here. We'll do our search. Broken bottle doesn't help us. Door, candle holder, none of this helps us. Take a look in the barrel, nothing there. This barrel on the ground, nothing there. And there should be one more over here. So we got some little bit of gold there, some chump change to get started with, and now we have two guys here to talk to. Magister Marel and Magister Caddock. So let's go ahead and talk to this one first.
The bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles. You can't make out a face amid the mess.
So before we start, we will trade with him. We will look for the barter option, and we will look and see what he has first. Another herring, that'll be useful to us. Let's see what else he has that might be useful. You see, sheet of paper is 39 gold. That's pretty expensive, but an onion's helpful, so we'll do that, and let's see what we can barter on our side. Well, that's too much. We only need 8, so let's grab cause worth 3.
It seems as
This
though
book's worth 2. We need 3 more to get there. Put this tome over there. 1 more. When doing this, we don't want to put too many things on one side. because we might not get them back at the end. So trade for the things we need, and we'll close.
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Lucky you were busy getting your collar fitted at the time, or you'd be a suspect like the rest of them.
Oh, thanks. We'd be a suspect, except they were already treating us like a dog.
Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does.
So we have a bunch of answers here. We have a pretty snarky one for Losa, generally because she's a jester, so we'll go ahead.
To yourself, bloody sorcerer.
So he didn't like that too much. So let's talk to the other sorcerer out here.
A young magister stands pale and silent. Her knuckles whiten around her weapon as you pass.
So again, we will barter. So apple juice, some milk. You can see milk is good. Does some healing for us. Water is always useful. Potato, tomato, and amadouava, which is some kind of funky fungus that we need for brewing potions, you can see. And a sharp piece of metal. So let's go into the barter screen to see what works for us here. So let's grab the metal. Both the milks. And the amadouava. Okay, so we need to come up with 46. So on our side, gold cup is worth 48. So we can get 2 more, so let's grab one more thing. So we'll grab the tomato. We'll even it up by putting 1 gold on our side, and then we will make the trade. And let's go into the room now. Talk to Magister Waters.
Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this.
So we'll continue to take the snarky, mean answers.
Finn didn't see it like that. He was desperate for us to help him. 2 things scared the living daylights out of him. His own shadow and his own source.
Okay, so let's do some bartering here if we can. She's rocking the lemonade, which we don't know what it does. An apple. Some raw ribs. These are going to be able to cook later. The mushroom. Some shears. Those are good for cutting. And some stain pans. So she has quite a bit that is useful for us. We'll grab what we can. Pants. Shears. So we're up to 44. Let's see what we can put together for 44 on our side. Jawless skull. We're 23, so we're halfway there. Put the resurrection scroll. Let's see if we can grab some.
Now, where did I leave my calipers?
Now we're about 25 short. Let's see what else we have. Let's try Fireball Scroll. We're now 9-10 ahead. About 6. We'll have her put the rest of the money in to balance that out. And now we'll continue with the conversation.
Speaking of,
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole time. didn't even stir. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course. Not with that collar on, you aren't. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Sometimes they clam up in front of a uniform.
So she wants us to help out with the investigation.
And I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that?
So we'll take this snarky answer right here.
Think about it. It's one of you who got killed, not one of us. We want to find who did it and bring them to justice. Who's your real enemy here? You let me know if you hear anything. Whoever did this is dangerous.
Okay, so we got enlisted anyways.
Now, where did I leave my calipers?
So let's go into the main part of the ship and see what we can find out about this murder for her. Rope is useful, we'll pick that up. Another bucket, we'll pick that up. And we will use our advanced search here to look at many things. Bedroll is useful, so you definitely want to pick that up. Sacks we want to open. Nothing in that one. Oh, look at that. A mace that helps with us, for us, and some chump change, but we'll take all of that. We'll check out this barrel. Unfortunately, nothing in there. Nothing in the crate. Our fellow NPCs that are sourced like us. This is Sybil. She could be one of the other presets that we started with. We'll find her later. I'm not going to talk to all of them right now. We will talk to them at a later point in the game. So here we will talk to this Magister.
Go take your sub story somewhere else.
And we'll do a trade and see what he has. Cheese, egg, gel, empty potion bottles, and a knockdown arrow. Well, that's pretty useful. Let's see if we can barter for that. I'm not sure we'll have enough, but
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us would kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
You think me mad?
Mad? No. Insufferable? Surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
I ain't saying nothing.
Bloody dwarves, I'll come back to you, and you better be ready to talk here.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
we're not going to be able to get there. So hopefully that's still there when we come back in the end. Ivan, he's another one of our NPCs that we will talk to later. See if there's anything in the crate. Nope.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
And here we have Beast. He's one of the NPCs, and Gil, he's not one. Pick up another bucket. Let's just check the whole area. We already have bed rolls, so we'll pick up the bucket. Bucket's half a pound. So we'll pick up the bedroll. There's some money in those.
Got this wolf on a leash now.
There's the Red Prince. He's one of our other ones.
We'll hang you right over the side of this ship.
NPCs. So let's pick up the bottle of beer. Nothing in the basket. Nothing in the basket. How about the sack? Nothing as well. Alright, let's search over here. Pick up the bucket. Check the sacks. Let's talk to Magister Jalen, see what we can trade for him. An egg and some whisper wood.
Well, you aren't here on my list. Scram, eh? We're trying to catch a killer here.
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
Oh, and the lock and key.
I've seen more appetizing things coming out of
I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Nest.
There's nothing else I can make, Your
Your
Majesty.
kind always.
So the door was locked. We'll do a search. We find the greasy key. That's likely to get us in the greasy door. Grab a cooking pot. Can't reach it. We'll grab the journal. Can't reach that either. So there we go. We unlock the door with the greasy key. Let's search over here. Another pocket knife. Small poison bottle. That'll be good. All the food.
Boring.
Tomato soup. We'll grab that. And the herring. Washing tub, we don't need to pick that up. Okay, that should just be about everything, but let's do another search on this side, make sure. Alright, restoration scroll, good for us. Poster. And that gives us 6 recipes, so that was helpful. Let's open this barrel, see what's there. Some gold, 10. Not a lot, but something. Nothing in the basket. Let's check the sack. Nothing. Let's check the shelves. Healing potion, definitely take that. This other shelf, let's see what's over here. Another healing potion, we'll take that. Okay, so we learned some recipes, so let's go into crafting and take a look. And these are all the ones we learned. So, boiled potato, cold mashed potatoes, which we could actually make right now because we have a hammer and we have a potato. So we can make mashed potatoes if we have an oven, if we have a boiling pot, or a boiled potato. So those are all the things we could make. We can make this one, so if we just push create, creates this for us without having to go into the combine screen at all. So it saves us a shortcut right there. Alright, so this door is locked, so we're not going to be able to go through there. So we'll go around the other way.
I don't intend to do away with the custom.
Well, there has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the
So let's do a quick search.
Don't you get saucy
And
with
let's
me.
talk to
Clearly don't know the first
Here's the
thing about
register, ma'am. Good, good.
this Magister and see what he has. Herring, ham, raw meat, stained shirt, and a needle. All stuff we can use. So let's barter with him.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
We just skip to the part where I
And our side, we need 43. Should be able to get there pretty easily.
and sufferable, surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
We need 9 more.
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard, Dick.
Right. I always knew you'd turn up rotten then, Master. Your kind have always hung closest to our divide, like wolves around a campfire.
Well, you've got this wolf on a leash now.
As soon as you
Okay, so he's asking us if we're here to register. We know that we are.
You faring okay so far?
So we'll go with the snarky answer at the bottom here.
He tugs the collar of his uniform and chuckles.
I'm sorry you're upset, ma'am, but we all wear what we wear for a reason. You head on in now. Williams will get you sorted fast.
Do away with the custom.
Okay, so he opens the door for us.
There has been a murder.
And if she tries to run,
Maybe
shoot
that
her kids.
has the Magister's more
Before we go
concern.
too deep in there, we'll do some searching. Grab the inn.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about strongly suspect you know all about it.
Do you? Well, perhaps you're absolutely right.
Keep those bolts trained on her, and if she tries to run, shoot to kill.
You seem on edge, officer. What on earth is the matter?
Murder most foul, and I strongly suspect you know all about it.
Do you? Well, perhaps you're absolutely right.
So we'll pick up all the plates. Some of them's probably worth something. And let's go over here.
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella.
Yes, I did. But of course, that was
Ah,
only the
okay,
beginning.
so now we know who the murderer is. Maybe we can get our one shiny gold piece.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Uh-oh.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
So let's ask her what she meant by her statement that others must end, lives must end.
It means your journey draws to a close. Do stick around for its finale, though, because...
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
Uh-oh, that is not good.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
What's happened?
So our journal has been updated. One of the things you can do here is if you want to power level your character and get somewhere quickly is you can start a fight back where the rest of the people are, bring them all here, and then when she creates this scene, you'll get an extra 800 experience points. It'll help you level up faster. But we're holding on to that right now. We want to be able to get off the ship still at level 1. And part of the reason for doing that is to give us the most flexibility with our companions as possible. If we meet them all at level 1, we get to raise their levels as we want, rather than the presets that the game generates for us. So while we're here, we will do the search. This is the easiest way to do all this. So gold, some orange juice, that's pretty awesome for us. Knock down arrowhead, that's good. And a pepper. So we'll take all that. Let's check Magister Yona. Chump change, but we'll take it. Everything helps. Master Ygritte has nothing. Broken source color, we don't want that. Empty cups, bench, candle holders. So really nothing. So let's check out this. And this one has all the stuff we needed for our character class. It'll be for whatever class you pick as well. So you can see we get a shield, a staff, which allows us some powers to do 5 to 7 electricity damage, and then a couple of wands as well. So it's saying we have too much to carry, but we grabbed some stuff, so let's go into the journal first to see what we've gotten. For the Troubled Waters quest, we're asked for we need to escape, we need to flee the ship. The next one is getting armed, which we have done. We can look at the chronicles. You can see that Sorcerer Wendigo, you remember her from the opening scenes, implied that we had something common, and she created the explosion to get away. In the archive, we found the murderer. Unfortunately, we're not going to get our one shiny gold piece for that. Let's go down to crafting. It's telling us we can do some new things. So we learned how to make an improvised staff, a shell and a long branch. Can make that. And let's go to inventory at this point and figure out what we're going to do. You can see our weight is 101 of 100. So we have a little bit more than we can carry. So let's go to the ones that are equipment. So stained pants, let's equip those. And they're in place of threadbare pants. Threadbare had nothing to help us, but the stained pants we put on gives us 1 armor and a 1/10 of a movement point more than we had before. So that's helpful. Stained shirt, we'll equip that for a threadbare gown. For right now, we will equip the shields. You see we learned a new ability called Shields Up. We'll go take a look at that in just a minute. So right here, Shields Up. So when we do that, it restores the physical and magic armor of our shield. So it's 8 and 6. So that's a good ability. It has costs us 2 action points, the 2 green dots at the top, and it has a 3-turn cooldown to use it. So we're still carrying 1 pound too many. So let's go into our inventory and see what we can drop. So this is worth 3 and it's 1 pound, so threadbare gown, so it's not something we want to get rid of at this point. Let's go to all the inventory and look. for something that makes sense to get rid of. Let's read this note. Close, so we don't need this. And we will drop this. Next requisition, we'll read that. Same thing. Drop. Whoops. Actions, we want to drop item. A lot of wine, that'll be sellable later. Cheese bread. Let's see what these plates. They're not worth anything, unfortunately, so we will drop all 7. It puts us right at the 100 of 100 mark. So we should be good. Let's go over to equipment and see how we're dressed. Okay, so we have the pocket knife with the poison on it, which allows us to critical people from behind. We have our shield. Stained pants, we know that that was a little bit better than what we had before. Our collar, which cannot help us. A helmet. The bucket. So we can push down the R3, the right toggle, to have that not show, but it's still on us. And then stained shirt. So for the upcoming battles, we want to probably change this for something else. Four, 5 to 7, because we're not going to be able to be backstabbing. Unfortunately, the staff is two-handed, so it's going to put the shield down. That doesn't help us. So we'll just continue to roll with what we have, because we don't have the hammer that we found earlier. Okay, so those stairs are the stairs up. We don't want to go up yet to get out here. Magister paid. There's the key. There's our mallet that we had from before. And the restoration scroll. So we'll take all. And you can see we move slow now because we have, we're carrying a lot of stuff again. So we want to combine the mallet and the ooze barrel. Let's go to equipment. And equip the mallet, because it does a little bit more damage, and now that we've poisoned it, it has a chance for us to do more damage, which we're going to need. So you can see the red weight thing out over our head. That tells us that we are carrying too much. And you can see our fellow NPCs are knocked out. They're lying down there. We're looking for the Magister that's back here, so we will get there. And I'll have to unask some of the stuff that I'm carrying around. So let's go back in the inventory. We're 3 pounds over. Key doesn't weigh anything, but it's worth 12 gold, so we'll keep that. Let me go down here to the key. Greasy key, we can drop this. This key we can drop as well. We have 2 of these bedrolls, which we need to lose some weight, so we'll go ahead and drop it. So we're just trying to find some things to drop here. Here's another key we can drop. Okay, we're at 100 of 100, but still some small portion above that, so we need to find one more thing to get rid of. Guess one more cooking pot will do it. There we go. Because we are going to be doing some more looting. Check on this Magister. Stained pants, we already have some, so we don't need to grab those. This arrowhead, definitely need to grab that. Empty potion bottles, grab that. And the cash, grab that. Here we go all the way to the back here. And search these 2. Heavy again because we've been picking up everything. Let's get in the middle and do a check.
The Magister lies on the floor, unconscious and bleeding from a...
So we will put her out of her misery. One more shot should do it. If we could hit a Magister lying on the ground prone. Finally got through all the armor. You can see the red line up there. There's health. There's 100 XP for us. Take the gold. We already have stain shirt. We don't need the cards. A shell we're not going to worry about. So now we need to go in our inventory and see what we need to get rid of. Again, we have a bunch of stuff that we aren't going to have a lot of use for. Journal. Read this ancient book. Okay, we're getting pretty close to the weight limit where we need to be. Still in the red. Okay, so we have everything dropped. Okay, so what we're doing is just setting the hotbar. Let me equip that. There we go. There's the sucker punch. So right here we need to set the slot with a see this skill. So let's get ourselves out of here. We'll move the water barrel over here so we can put the flames out like that. There we go.
God damn it! Need to get off this wreck and quick.
So let's see what's in the display case. Nothing. Grab the gold cut. We'll leave the forgery alone. Okay, again, we're carrying too much. Take the loot. As we go about our searching here, see if there's...
Before this thing snaps into splinters. What fresh hell is this? Something's pounding on the hull.
See, we're grabbing all the loot we can. 2 pounds, so we're going to be overweight again.
Damn, that doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards.
So let's find the next thing to drop so that the bow is not too cumbersome for us. So up here is Fane. We could talk to him, but we're not going to at this point. That skull marquee is for in here.
The marking on the door was painted recently, judging from its pungent scent. You don't recognize the symbol, but it's clearly warning you away. You press your palm against the door to open it. The wood feels neither cold nor warm, but simply grey. The color drains from your hand, and you are left numb. The moment you touch the door, it doesn't budge. The door groans open.
Something's breaking through. What the hell are those things? Death fog. I need to get out of here now.
So we'll go to equipment. We now know we found some gloves, so we will equip them. And we will go up.
We need to get off this ship.
Okay, it cost us 1 AP to get back here, so we will go back here, because what we want to do is funnel them into this area where only one at a time can attack us. And since we took some damage, now what we want to do is cast a shield up. Inventory what we want to do, and we will save it. We'll end our turn because we need them to come to us. And then for equipment, now that we've been attacked, we'll go here and we will unequip the shield because we want to be able to have the sucker punch. So first we will attack with our mallet. We didn't poison. We can attack again. And then we want to use the sucker punch to stun them, knock him down. So now he loses his next turn. It's the end of our turn. Jumps back up. Equip the shield and attack one last time. So we killed him. End our turn. Here comes the next one. It's really punishing us. so that we can sucker punch him, get us another turn. Poisoned worked that one. So we got punked right there. Made a mistake in looting instead of reapplying the armor that we needed to have.
We need to get off this ship.
First thing is move over here. We have the shield on, did damage to us. So let's cast the shields up, get all our armor back, and save our 1 AP. Our shield seems to be doing the job, just like we need it to. Attack him again. Let's remove the shield. So we can sucker punch. Okay, so that killed him. So we'll end the turn. We attack him a couple times there. So we healed. We'll unequip the shield so that we can sucker punch him. Should be all we need for this round. Which, there we go. Well, we re-equip the shield. So we can move from the Magister. Fireball scroll, that's good. Okay, so they have nothing either. Okay, so we'll do some searching over here. Barrels and crates. Grab a rope, check the barrel. The fire still hasn't gone out up there, so what we need to do is move these water barrels as far as it'll let us move them at a time. So the long slog to bring it up here so that we can put out some of the fire. And we need to grab the other one so that we can loot the rest of the guys up there. But because this is Tactician mode, we need to take every advantage we can as early as we can. We're already handicapping ourselves by not leveling up as soon as we could have. I know this broadcast is getting a little bit long, but as soon as we get this part done, then I'll do another one that shorten up this videos a little bit. So there we go. So we'll pick up an improvised one. We'll check on these last two Magisters. Grab some cash. And the scroll. Okay, it's heavy. You can see from the red flag on the minimap where we need to go, which we'll do. So let's do a quick inventory check, find something else we should be dropping one.
A lifeboat! That means there's still a chance. Oh, you do.
Do a quick save here.
Shut your trap, kid. Children and dwarfs first.
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes.
But there were other people down there.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time for getting the hell out of here.
So like we do for all the rest of these, we'll just take the snarky answer and call the dwarf out.
Thank you. There's a ladder right over there.
You're gonna be the death of us, you hear?
Okay, over here is the ladder. Before we go down there, let's check the journal for all the new entries. One here in troubled waters to help the other prisoners escape. And in the chronicles, giant void woken is attacking the ship, which we know. So at this point we will do another quick save, and we will call this broadcast good before we go down and get into some more fights. Remember to subscribe and follow on YouTube and Twitch if you're liking what you're seeing, and we will keep the action going.